Hey, Pepin.
Yo, yo.
I've been thinking a lot lately about drinking.
Drinking.
About getting a good drink.
Steve, are you drunk?
Listen, Nate, I don't know what is drunk, but when you have a good drink, you drink it, you get it in you.
Did you come to the podcast drunk again? I think you have a problem. Steve, we need to talk.
Welcome back. So glad you guys could join us. I am here once again with my best friend, Pat's Blue Ribbon. Nate's here too. How's it going, Pepin?
Wow, I'm kind of offended. Also, I'm doing well. How about you, Steve?
Not too bad, thanks. To be serious for a moment, I am drinking on this episode because I think it's only fitting. What about you, Nate?
Nope, not drinking. I don't really drink too much.
Have you ever drank? I've never seen you drunk.
Well, no. So, to be honest, my family has a history of alcoholism, so it's something I try to avoid a bit. But I actually do drink a little bit, and I have been drunk once.
Oh, really? Well, tell me about that. I'm trying to imagine drunk Pepin.
Okay, so I have to explain a little bit of backstory here because I tried to get drunk a bunch of times, and I didn't ever really get drunk, and it really annoyed me.
Wait. So first time you tried to get drunk before, and you couldn't get drunk?
Yeah. I'm not sure why exactly. I mean, I didn't try, but I tried.
Only one try, not three. Did you ever try?
Trying just doesn't work. But the first time was I tried drinking at your sister's party way back when I was 16 or 17. I had 6 or so beers, and I didn't feel a thing. And I got super pissed because beer tastes like shit.
Hey now, don't talk that way about beer. It's right here.
I know you're a big beer fan, but when I do drink, it's usually the fruity shit.
Ah, okay. So we will get to our preferences, but so you tried to drink when you were in your late teens, and you couldn't get drunk. How many times did you try and drink after that first time?
3 or 4, maybe 5. Not very big amounts, but enough. I've heard from people that, if you have no tolerance, 1 to 3 beers might actually do you in.
No.
Some people get drunk off 2 beers. That's what people are saying.
Well,
I mean, maybe.
Maybe. I know B, very popular guest on this show, one going on her second drink, she gets pretty drunk. So yeah, I will rescind and say that yes, that is the case, but I would never imagine that to be the case with you.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of strange.
Yeah.
But I tried getting drunk a number. Okay, again, I didn't try to get drunk because if you have 20 beers, of course you're gonna get drunk. But I was trying to play it safe because I didn't want to get shit faced without having really any recourse of action, not really knowing what I was doing. But I wanted to get more than just somewhat feeling hey, I'm slightly buzzed.
Oh, well, that's the little baby way to do it. What happened? How much did you drink when you actually finally got drunk?
So my plan was to be at home, and I would get drunk there. That way I could just kind of do it on my own time. And I bought a $5 bottle of really cheap vodka, and I drank about half of it.
Oh, okay, half a bottle of vodka. That'll do it.
Yep.
How quickly?
So I drank it over the course of an hour and a half, maybe.
Shot by shot, straight from the bottle, mixed with anything?
Straight from the bottle.
Oh my god, that was brutal.
Apparently you're not supposed to do that. I didn't know that.
Did you have a chaser?
No, I just was drinking it straight up.
Powered through a $5 bottle of vodka. Jesus, dude.
My goal was to get drunk. It wasn't to enjoy it.
There are a lot of Russians right now being like, yeah, what's the problem? So you finally drank enough to get drunk. An hour and a half in, you started to feel drunk. Did it hit you all at once? Was it a slow burn?
So it's kind of like with drugs in general. It's a slow come up until it's not. It's like, oh yeah, I'm feeling a little inebriated right now. Oh yeah, this is getting a little bit stronger. Oh shit, that's kind of what it's like. And being drunk is really weird because it's almost like you're sober, except you don't think as much. And when you stand still, perfectly still, everything is the same. It's perfectly fine. It's like, yeah, this is just normal. I'm not drunk anymore. Okay. And then you move your head, and everything just goes in this weird motion blur, and you're like, what the fuck?
What did you do while you were drunk?
So I mostly just kind of did things around the house. I talked to my little brother and watched some stuff, and I kind of just browsed stuff. I used the bathroom. I was in the bathroom for a while, just contemplating whether I was drunk or not, and then moving my head and being like, yeah, okay, I'm drunk. That's weird.
Okay, okay. Keep going. Tell me a little bit more.
So one thing I noticed about being drunk, so I was kind of being drunk to observe like what it was like to be drunk. It's like when I first did marijuana, I did it more to see what marijuana was all about, rather than like it was like it's an intellectual curiosity for me as opposed to being like yeah, let's get shit faced. So what I noticed is that my impulse control was delayed by about 2 minutes. So meaning that if I had an idea or was gonna say something, I had to stop myself 2 minutes ahead of time. So if I thought something was funny and it's like, hey, that'd be a funny idea, I'd have to convince myself out of it, 2 minutes beforehand. Otherwise, it's like the ball was already in motion. It's like, oh, Nate, you're gonna watch yourself do that now. Stop saying that. Oh, okay, Nate, you're watching yourself talk now. Stop. Okay. And it took me a while to get myself actually out of the thing.
So you had to preemptively know what you were going to do 2 minutes in advance. Now, is this 2 drunk minutes or 2 actual minutes?
That's hard to know because, well, it's like, I would say maybe 2 drunk minutes because I don't really have any reference to time. Like, I think my brother knew I had been drinking, but he didn't really give me like a reference to time. But for me, I would have these thoughts, like talking to my brother, like, oh, this would be fun to talk about, or hey, I'm gonna say this to kind of elicit this reaction, and I kind of plan it out ahead of time, and then it's like the conversation would happen like a minute later, and then it'd be like, no, Nate, stop having this conversation. That's stupid, and then it just wouldn't stop having the conversation. So, I mean, to give an example, I was at so this isn't when I got drunk, but this is like a time where I drank a couple things and I was feeling something, maybe decently buzzed would be the term, and this is like a family event. So we're in the house, we had hamburgers and all this kind of stuff, and there's AC in the house, so it's nice and cool. But there's all these flies flying around all over the place, and the flies were really annoying because they kept on laying on my hamburgers and stuff. So my family's there and they're kind of enjoying themselves. They think I'm being a little silly. They don't like that I have my Bud Light margarita thing. And the fly kept on laying on my food, and I thought it'd be funny to kind of swat the fly on my food. And I was thinking about that for about 5 minutes, and then I decided to do it. And then when I decided to do it, like, I started trying to talk myself out of it. Nate, no, Nate, that's a bad idea. No, you're gonna make a fool of yourself. No, Nate, stop. And then about 3 minutes later, I'm there swatting the fly off my food, and the ketchup goes flying across the table. And my sister-in-law just looked at me and says, Nate, no, Nate. So it's that kind of impulse control. It's not there. It's very complex planning.
I think that everything that happened right there was probably within 30 seconds.
Probably.
And you're like, 5 minutes later, I actually did it. It was like 1 second.
It's like I was on the toilet just contemplating what it was like to be a drunk. It's like, I'm not drunk. It felt like an hour of just contemplation. And what's weird about that, being on the toilet and kind of just being like, I'm not drunk, and then just moving my head and realizing I was drunk, is I kept on convincing myself that I actually wasn't drunk, because when I stopped moving, I was like, oh, no, this is actually normal. I guess I'm sobered up. Then I had to, like, go to get up, like fuck no, fuck no.
So did you end up passing out?
Yeah, eventually I decided to sleep, and I was like impressed with myself because I didn't throw up at all. I'm like, man, I held my alcohol, I'm good. And then like 2 hours into sleeping, I wake up and just throw up over my blankets. It was terrible.
Oh man, I've never thrown up in my bed.
There was no warning for it, which was the problem. I just kind of woke up, I'm like, huh, I'm awake. And I don't know. I've never had this, spontaneous vomit.
Jeez, did you have a hangover the next day?
I was worried about having a hangover, but I actually didn't, which I'm pretty grateful for. But I'll pretend like I did because I want to feel like I'm a part of the club.
Well, if you didn't, that's fine. A lot of times vomiting can prevent a hangover.
Really?
Yeah, that's why if I get like really drunk and I know I hadn't been drinking water through the whole deal, um, and I start to feel sick, I just won't fight it. I'll just go throw up. I'm fine with that. Um, I think it's I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I got the drunk effect, and now at least I won't have the hangover. But I mean, the easiest thing to do would be to just for every beer you drink some water as well. Like that should be what you do.
Interesting.
Now, speaking of beer, I really I like beer. That's how I like to drink. I don't like many mixed drinks. Dr. McGillicuddy's, or a nice Malibu Sunrise is always good, which is coconut rum in pineapple juice with a little bit of grenadine. Outstanding, great flavor. But I like beer for the most part. That's what I drink. Right now I'm drinking a PBR, which is basically just piss water. But you can drink a lot of it, and it can get you drunk. Versus like a Blue Moon, which is really hearty and heavy, and it sits heavy on my stomach. So I can drink like two, maybe three of those, and then I'm like, I'm full. I don't feel like drinking anymore, and I'm not really drunk. Versus like six PBRs in the course of an hour, and then I'm like, all right, I'm feeling pretty good. What about you? What do you drink? You said fruitier?
You have fruitier stuff, so like strawberry daiquiris. I like those. Well, like I said, I'm not really into drinking, so it's like 1.04% alcohol or something. So I like that because you get like a tiny, tiny bit of smidgen of alcohol, but not too much, and it also tastes good.
Ah.
Uh, if I ever want to like feel something, I usually grab like a Four Loco because those are also fruity and they're big cans, so you can just kind of slowly drink them over time. Or Bud Light margaritas, those aren't bad.
Yeah, I like the Bud Light Lime. That's a good one. Or a nice Corona with lime is nice. But if I want to slam something and just get drunk, I'm gonna buy a Natty Daddy.
It's actually kind of strange, Steve, because I've actually never seen you drunk, and I actually don't know what you're like drunk.
Pretty much the same. So what I do anytime I get drunk now is I'm usually playing hockey. And this is on the PlayStation.
Okay, so not actual hockey.
Right, right.
That would be pretty entertaining.
That would be really fun too, though. But I play it on the PlayStation, and I play defense, and I like to hit people, and I'm really good at it. I'm really good at it. I injure people all the time.
You sound very proud of this.
Yeah, and I like to play a drinking game with my buddies. They like to get me as drunk as possible. So I say, every time you guys score a goal, I'll drink. And if I score a goal, I'll finish my drink.
Is this online or is this like the NPC players?
Yeah, this is with the computer. The computer loves to get me drunk. Oh, man. I think it's a PlayStation thing.
When's the first time you drank? Because I feel like you didn't really drink in college. And at the party, I don't remember you drinking either.
I don't know if I remember the first time I drank. I've never been like super into drinking. But I definitely I like doing it more like as a casual thing. But in college, once I was like sophomore into junior year, that's when I really started drinking. When I had my own apartment, we weren't in the dorms, and we had to deal with all that stupid, not allowed to drink stuff. I'd go out to the bars once I was 21. That was a good time. And that was actually one of the only times I've ever been blackout drunk.
At a bar?
Yep. I went to a bar that was down the road. It was probably like a mile and a half away. And I I think it was like somebody's birthday party or something. So I bought them a Grateful Dead, which is like really really heavy in alcohol. It has like tequila and like all types of alcohol in it. But it tastes really good. And like I bought one for myself too, and I like pounded that, and then we just had beers, and I just kept drinking, and I vaguely remember like little snippets. It's kind of like when you're remembering a dream. You're like, I think I remember that like this happened, but then it like cut to I was in my room. So like the last thing I remember is I remember being in the bar, getting there. I remember drinking, and then I remember while I'm walking home, I remember falling over and losing my shoe. And I fell over. It was snowy. I fell over in a ditch, and I just laid there for a little bit. And I'm like, I'll just nap here, and I'll get up in a little bit, and I'll be sober. So I seriously contemplated sleeping in that ditch. And then I was like, wait, no, I need to get my shoe back on. So then I walked back home, and I don't remember getting home. I don't remember anything except waking up the next morning, and all of my clothes were neatly folded on my bed, and my phone was plugged in. I had the sense of mind to do like all of those things. Blackout drunk. I'm a very responsible drunk.
Now, do you usually fold your clothes, or was
no? And they were soaking wet because I was laying in a ditch.
You're soaking.
My soaking wet clothes were all nice and folded, except my socks. My socks were jammed down into my shoe. Not like I like took them off with my shoe on, which I imagine I probably did, but like I picked up my shoe and shoved my sock all the way into the bottom of it. I was probably trying to dry my shoes out.
It's like you have the sense of mind to fold your wet clothes, but your socks, don't deal with those. Just hide those away in your shoe.
Either I was trying to hide them, or I was trying to dry my shoes because my shoes were soaked because I was walking through the slush. And so I think I might have shoved my socks in there to like soak up all of the moisture.
I see.
Flawed logic, yes.
So that's like drunk thinking right there.
It's like, I know. I'll be happy I did this in the morning. That was the drunkest you've ever been? That one time that you went to the bathroom and were like, I'm not drunk?
Yeah, well, there's also this other time when I was maybe drunk, but I'm in denial about it still. And this is at college.
Oh.
We went over to your sister's dorm room, and it's kind of cool over there, and she had like a big bottle of Sky vodka, which is very tasty. And she offered me a bunch, so I mean, not like a bunch, but like a good, I don't know, it's a decent amount. So I just kind of drank it, and it's like we chatted and we laughed eventually, and we went back to the dorm, and I just sat down and played guitar for like a couple hours, and I was really into it. And
that sounds like any other night.
And there's the dorm room drunk who came in, and he's like, hey guys, how's it going? What's up, Meader? And then he kind of looks over and he's like, is he? And you're just like, yeah, he is.
So I thought you were drunk, and he thought you were drunk.
I don't think I was drunk. I think it's just like very buzzed, and like and very into like. Guitar was very enjoyable, let's put it that way, at that point. So it's like, I was just super into it. It's like, yeah. And maybe I was more outwardly drunk seeming than I felt inside. But inside I did feel very elevated.
Well, fair enough. So would you be willing to get drunk with me sometime?
Maybe. For the sake of the podcast, I'm definitely going to say yes. Getting drunk.
What if I bought?
See, I'm a little bit apprehensive about getting drunk because being blackout is what scares me. Because that.
Well, we wouldn't get blackout.
Yeah, true. Okay. Fuck it, I'm gonna take you up on your offer.
And I'm sure B would love to be involved and would stay sober and would, get us water, make sure we were taken care of. So you wouldn't need to worry about anything.
We could even do a podcast and call it like the We Need to Drunk Cast.
That's it. That's the name. We need the drunk.
We need to drunk.
Are you drunk right now? That sounds like something a drunk person would come up with.
Well, we try to phone in like the We Need to Talk anywhere we can. So, this is just what we do now.
We drunk to talk.
We drunk to talk.
That's it. That's we're renaming the whole show now.
Damn it. But on a serious note, this is unvertedly the holiday Christmas episode, or Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, the other one that we forget. And it's very important that although drinking is of course fun, and the holidays are of course going to be fun with the drinking and other festivities, be sure to be safe when you drink, especially on the holidays. Don't ruin anybody's Christmas.
Yeah, don't drink and drive, and always wear a condom.
Especially if you're like riding somebody.
Just like Santa. but with that said, happy holidays, everybody. This is coming out on Christmas Day. For those of you who celebrate Christmas, happy Hanukkah.
Damn, that was savage.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
But something you can also snap into is our Twitter account by sending a message and let us know how you like this episode. We're at twitter.com/WNTT1.
You can always check us out on Facebook too at We Need to Talk Show.
And we also have a Patreon, so if you really love us, you can give us a donation, which would be very much appreciated. Help support the show and show your love.
I just want to give a quick shout out here. It's the end of the year. It's been great recording with you, Nate. I'm really glad that we continue to do this. I'm wearing an ugly sweater right now. It's Santa Claus punching a shark.
What?
I know. It's amazing.
Badass.
And completely off topic from that, I want to give a shout out to two podcasts. One of them is the TPC podcast. You guys are very familiar with them. We love them very, very much. One of my favorite all-time podcasts. They're coming up on episode 200. Go check them out, TPC. And they're going to be doing some great events at tpcgaming.com. Check that out.
200 episodes is just crazy.
It is. There's one more podcast that I really want to suggest here. They're coming up on their 100th episode, and I think it's real on topic with what we've been talking about. That's the GNA podcast.
Gaming, nerds, alcohol?
That's the one. I highly suggest checking them out. You can check them out anywhere you can check us out. We're following them, so go ahead and click off of us onto them, or vice versa always works too. I don't know why I'd promote our own podcast on our podcast, but just in case, you should definitely check us out. Wait, this turned into parroting me. Check them out, GNA. Congrats, guys, on episode 100. Congrats, TPC, on episode 200. And congrats, Nate, on another great episode of We Need to Talk. Merry Christmas.
Happy
Put in some
holidays.
jingle bells or something.
Oh, I could do like a Christmas
Put in
theme.
some Christmas bells.
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
Christmas
dun,
themed
dun, dun,
outro.
dun,
Now it sounds like an intervention.
How did you do a hiccup there? That's pretty impressive.
I just rapidly intook air while moving my shoulders upward. You can't fake a hiccup?
No, that's breathing.
All right.